Hey guys, this is Frank the Handyman. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to build a concrete block retaining wall and also how to level up the yard of your house. This is how everything was before we got started, with a lot of work and leveling needed to be done. And this is how everything turned out once we installed all this block retaining wall. Please stay tuned and continue watching until the end, so that way you won't miss out on any details that we'll be sharing. If you want to learn how to do all kinds of handyman DIY projects, including home renovations, then you're in the best place here on YouTube. Consider subscribing to our channel and activate the notification bell, so that way you won't miss out on any videos that we'll be uploading every single week. I'm actually working at my house today, and the reason why I'm building this concrete block retaining wall is because, as you can tell right here, on the left side, my yard kind of dips down quite a bit where it meets with the sidewalk. So I purchased 4 pallets of this blocks, and it's a total of 180. And I also got several bags of sand. It's just a typical play sand that I will use to prep the base. I got a few chisels, different sizes, and then some concrete or construction adhesive. This will help if you want to like glue a couple of the blocks on top of each other. You can just put it on and it'll it helps to glue them together. And I ordered 4 yards of backfill dirt, and I have 3 yards of 3/4 minus gravel. I'm gonna be using all of this to get started as I start prepping the base. I'm starting over here on the lower side. This is the lowest point, and I'm just gonna work my way up towards the along the sidewalk. And unfortunately, as we started digging here, we ran into some really large tree roots. If you look at my prior video, I uploaded another one where I actually cut a really large 3.5 foot wide pine tree, and so there was still quite a bit of roots. We grinded down a decent amount, but I mean, I didn't uncover everything. But now that we started digging, we found a couple of them that were pretty huge. So the way how we cut them is we just used a reciprocal saw with some heavy duty blades, and at some of the thicker points we actually just got an axe. We sharpened it and we just hit it several times until we broke through this large root. And thankfully we were able to break it out, and just enough so we can get through the area. Then from there, you just want to put gravel down at least 6 to 8 inches thick, and then compact it with one of those dampers. And from there, you can use the sand to help you to level up each one of the blocks. But this is the most critical and important step of the process, is the very first layer. You want to make sure that each block is level from side to side and from front to back. So like you see right here, this first block is half of it is below the sidewalk level and half is above it. And then as we start going, up like down the sidewalk, it starts like getting lost in the dirt. And as soon as we saw like one full block is completely underneath the sidewalk level, then we're gonna go ahead and step it up. And we left a little gap along the sidewalk, like a few inches. Right here we're gonna make a curb, just like a natural curb. And then on the right side over there, you see the driveway. I'm gonna leave like a 6 foot wide gap. So in the future, I'm gonna be extending my driveway to butt up against the retaining wall. So that's why I decided, to curve it, so that way the edge will be 6 feet away from the driveway. And then over there on the far end, I'm digging that point over there at the end. It was like there was quite a bit of dirt there along and around the utilities. So I dug out all that area enough so we can, put the wall just directly behind the utilities and along that area. And over here I have my good friend. He's helping me to continue to build the wall on the very first layer. This is what takes the longest, and it's just most of the work is just putting the gravel, compacting it, putting in the sand, and leveling it up, and just moving down the line. Once you do the first one, then the rest is pretty easy. You just stack them one on top of the other and just follow it up. So once we got the first row there along the sidewalk done, I'm going ahead and putting in all that 4 yards of dirt up there, like next to the grass. I had more grass up there, but I cut it out, and I'm just putting more backfill dirt because it's a huge drop off. At the lowest point, I think it's like 3 foot, a little over 3 foot tall, and then over here it's about like 2.5 feet tall. The drop off. So over here where I dug out the curb area, I'm starting to prep for the base. I have the sand there with the gravel, and you just have to like move it around and prep it and get it as level as possible. Then right there I stepped it up, and basically you just fill it in with gravel, and then the next block it's gonna continue at the same level with the lower with the lower layer. And you just want to continue that little by little until you get to the end where you want to end the block wall. I'm not gonna go all the way up there to the top because I want to leave a decent like wide opening so I can get in there with my lawnmower and just kind of walk around there. So I kind of left it pretty perfect. So once I have all this lower area set up, then I'm gonna start to put the blocks on top. Now each one of them, it weighs 65 pounds, so they are pretty heavy. It's quite a bit of work. I recommend for you to have like a wheelbarrow. Load up the blocks on the wheelbarrow, and then you can carry them over here like 4 or 5 at a time. It's a lot of weight, but once you have the layer put on, you clean it. I'm scraping a little bit on the back end because each one of these blocks has like a little ledge on the back that it hooks. It kind of basically like wraps around the lower block, and it helps to prevent it from like moving forward. So that's why I cleaned along the edge of the back side of the wall. And if you can tell right there, I'm backfilling directly behind the wall with the same 3/4 minus, about 3 layers up. Then after that, I'm gonna be putting in the soil. I just I want to have a decent amount of gravel to kind of help with drainage. So if I ever get a huge downpour, all that water, it's gonna help to kind of drain through the grass and the plants that I'm gonna have directly behind the wall, and also through the gravel, and eventually towards through the wall if it ever is needed. But that's the nice thing about having building these kind of walls, is they're definitely porous. It allows for water to kind of go through and out if needed. And the nice thing about them is you can level up your yard like I'm doing right here. The only thing I'm using is a wheelbarrow, a scoop shovel, a square shovel, a round shovel, just basic hand tools. That's all I'm utilizing here to level up my yard, to backfill, with gravel. Now, the dirt that I recommend for you to backfill with is just regular soil. They sell like Landscaper's Choice or, some kind of like dark black compost material. But that's mostly for like planting or, maybe like a thin coat. But to do like a major backfill area, I recommend for you to get like backfill material like this right here. This is perfect. Now this is unscreened. You can tell right there. I mean, it has like pieces of grass, and it has, it's not perfect, but this is like solid. Once I put it in there, I spread it around, I compacted it with my damper, and also by foot, I compacted everything, spread it out. it was super solid, you know. And the reason why I recommend this is because when it starts to rain and, you know, the ground will get kind of mushy, well, not so much with this kind of dirt. You know, once you have the grass in there and it grows and all of that grabs on, it's not going to be like soggy or like mushy. That will happen if you use like different kind of dirt, but not with this one. So then, you know, this is I have a landscaping rake. I have just a regular square shovel. That's pretty much like the only tools that I use to grade all my front lawn. So right here I have a mound of dirt right there. I'm loading it up to my wheelbarrow and just spreading it around. Over there on the back end of the video, it's quite low in that area, so I'm just bringing in like several scoops of the, you know, with my wheelbarrow, and then I'm backfilling it in, leveling it up with my shovel, and then I'm compacting it all around, and, you know, using my landscaping rake to spread it around, get it as close as possible. I have a, you know, a 3-foot wide level that you can also use just to kind of keep an eye on it. But that's how you know, level up your yard. Over here on the left side, this is where it meets with my neighbor. In the future, I'm actually gonna like curve it back in so that it goes along my property line. But for now, I'm just gonna end it straight right there temporarily. That curb and going along my property, I'm gonna do that on a separate day because that's gonna take quite a while. Now, for all of this work, I would say it took me about 5 days. And this was only me working like in the afternoons. I have my regular, you know, full-time job working as a handyman in the office administration work. So when I come home, you know, or like in my downtime, that's when I start, you know, backfilling or just doing a little bit at a time. And like I said, what took me the most is prepping the base and that first layer of the block retaining wall. It, you know, that took me the longest. But then after that, it's just a matter of cleaning and, you know, putting in the next layer. And like right here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers at the lowest point. And then as it starts kind of stepping up, it goes to like 5 over there at the other end. But this is the results after I installed all of this concrete block retaining wall. Honestly, it came out really beautiful, nice and level all the way through. I've already put in a ton of backfill soil. It's made a big transformation in my yard. Most of my neighbors that walk through this neighborhood, they looked at it and they're like, they love it. You know, they just give me so much compliments, and they're just super happy with how it turned out. In the future, I'm thinking about applying a sealer on them, so definitely keep an eye out for that video. Once I have it ready, I'll upload it and I'll let you know, so you can see how to seal this kind of a wall. It will help to prevent, you know, from getting so much mold, and it's just gonna allow it to last longer. So directly behind the wall, I'm gonna fill it in with some landscaper's choice, like nice dirt, and I'm gonna be planting some really beautiful roses about like 3 foot wide all along the back side of the wall. And then after that, I'm gonna put more grass. So if you want to see the video, like after I have it all set up, let me know, and once I get it fully complete, I'll take another one and show you the results after I planted my landscaping. But this is how it turned out. Honestly, I love how it looks. It transformed the front of my house, and I believe this increased the value of my property quite a bit. So I hope you liked this video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and activate the notification bell, so that way you won't miss out on any videos that I'm going to be uploading every single week. In the description below, I'm going to leave several links with different tools and materials that I highly recommend for doing a project like this. Definitely check those out, and that will support our channel. May God bless you, and I'll see you on the next project.